Hello, my name is Cara Priestley. I'm a second-year Master's of Public Policy student. I'd like to welcome you all this evening and thank you for attending the event in celebration of the generous gift from the Luskin family. So without further ado, I'd like to present the Meyer and Renee Luskin School of Public Affairs.
Welcome to the UCLA Luskin School of Public Affairs. We just want to have a really short program today. The purpose of today's event was for the school community to thank and meet Meyer and Renee, and you see with the wonderful students and faculty and staff, this is an absolutely spectacular group, and so on behalf of all of them, I say thank you. My remarks really are going to be really brief. Some of the story you may have heard or seen on the TV, which Meyer and Renee were stars of last week. But, you know, Meyer came to UCLA because they gave him a $30 scholarship, and tuition was $29. And I think he invested the other dollar since 1942. and they met here. Meyer had graduated, and Renee was still a student. And I think some of you have seen the pictures outside. Meyer was on the UCLA varsity boxing team, which we had in those days. And I just love the photo from the Daily Bruin. They called the boxing team the fisticuffers. An interesting term of art. Of course, they've been lifelong Angelenos and have been very generous and committed to the greater Los Angeles region and to this university. They've been longtime supporters. And so today's event is just really for the school community. It's not meant to be formal or fancy. The university will do that in appropriate time, and we will have a formal naming ceremony March 18th, as it says on the T-shirts. But we just wanted you to get to know some of the folks that make this place go and the interesting work that they're doing, and to see really the kind of people and the kind of work that your support is helping to do extremely important work. We've been described as a little-known corner of the campus by some, but we're not so unknown anymore. And I think the last thing I'll just say, and to me what's extremely significant about the gift, is that it places value on the work that we do. The people who are in the helping professions, the people who take care of the public good, the people who care about a greater cause than just money or material things, but really, as I continue to say, try to change the world, try to make it a better place a day at a time and action at a time. So this investment in us is extremely significant. For those in the school community, I've said this before, but we also should accept this gift with a deep sense of obligation. The Luskins have entrusted us with a legacy. That's serious business. And this isn't about, ooh, we got a bunch of money, how do we divvy up person by person? This is about being serious about thinking outside of the box, thinking on the front edge, trying to think about the big problems that vex our society and all of the greater society. So I think we should celebrate today, but I think we should also recognize that we have a deep, deep sense of responsibility to try to live up to the legacy of this gift. So I'm done, you know, I asked Al Carnes, Al, you ready to talk? He said, yeah, I got my 2-hour speech ready. And And I was thinking to myself, well, I've only got 90 minutes. But with no further ado, Professor and Chancellor Emeritus Al Kernison.
Well, the idea was to say a few words of thanks, and when you think about what this means, it is hours, not minutes, but I promise you I will spare you that. I offer these thanks as somebody who's devoted most of his life to this field. Actually, before I came to UCLA, I spent most of my career at Harvard at the Kennedy School as a professor and then dean of the Kennedy School, then came here as chancellor, and most recently was promoted to professor here at UCLA, which is, anybody that's been in academic administration knows that that's the highest rank. Almost as high as student, but not quite. As Frank's just said, what's special about a school like this, and this one in particular, is that the people come here because they want to make the world a better place. Faculty and students. And the question that is asked in terms of what measures success is not how much did you make, but how much difference did you make? By the way, those are not inconsistent. You can do well and do good. And you guys have done well and have done good. And giving back to the university that is happy to take credit for everything you've accomplished in your lives, but might even be responsible for a little bit of it. And for that, we're most grateful. Now, your generosity will enable a whole host of things. We're all used to saying, what does a university do? It does education, research, and service. But in this field, in these fields, public affairs, it really is education, research, and service, quite literally. So this will permit all of those to flourish and to improve. It's a fine school. It will be a great school because of what you've made possible. It will enable us to recruit and retain the very best students and the very best faculty, and that's synergistic. There's no place that has a great faculty and lousy students, or vice versa. You either have both or you have neither. And this is going to really enable us to do that. It will also provide entrepreneurial funding for new initiatives as we go on, and those too are extraordinarily valuable. But the benefits go far beyond the School of Public Affairs and UCLA. You know, UCLA, or any first-rate university, is greater than the sum of its parts. And so there's synergy among the schools. This will make the School of Public Affairs a more attractive partner, a more effective partner in working with the college and working with the Anderson School, the law school, the medical school. So it really cuts across the entire place, because that's what public affairs and public policy do. They're sort of the hub of this wheel, and the spokes should reach out to the university and beyond. I don't separate, in my mind, two parts of your gift, one for the conference center and one for the school. That's also a piece of the connection to the rest of the world. And public policy problems don't know local or national boundaries. You know, urbanization is the world. It's not just the United States. Justice is the world. It's not just the United States. Health, we have a long list of those things. So what's done here, even if at times you think that what you have in mind is Los Angeles, it really goes far, far beyond Los Angeles to that community. So I want to express gratitude personally, because it affects me as a member of the faculty here. Also on behalf of the university, on behalf of Los Angeles, but it goes far beyond that. And there's one final point. Renee and I were talking about this very briefly before. A substantial part of this gift is endowment. Now, when that gets written into gift agreements, it always shows up as in perpetuity. Only lawyers could come up with an expression like in perpetuity. This is a gift that keeps on giving. And in perpetuity is forever. We all know what forever means, even if you don't have much of a sense of what in perpetuity is, which I don't. So this will enable this school, not just in bad budget times, to have a reliable source of funding for important things, but in the best of times to really step out there with new initiatives and new things and try new experiments that would otherwise be impossible. So we thank you for your generosity and your vision. And I know everyone here, and people will be in this school and university for generations to come, will be proud to have our names associated with yours at the Luskins School. Thank you so much.
Hi, I had nothing prepared, and I didn't think, except they promised me perpetuity when I gave them. So what, I mean, don't.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
Oh, okay. It's been a joy and a pleasure meeting some of you. You're all great. The enthusiasm, the intelligence that comes through the eyes, the desire to do something worthwhile. And the whole point of what Renee and I want to do is to leave this world just a little better than we came into it. You know, other disciplines are important, but I think that the School of Public Affairs right now is the most important part of the university. I sincerely believe that as I look at this world and I look at where we're at. Of course, chemistry is important, physics is important, mathematics. You know, someone becomes a mathematician and they say, gee, there's so many wonderful problems to solve. A lot of them they aren't thinking about the other person in their life. They're intrigued with solving a problem. Now that's important too, and that problem may or may not have an impact on this world. A lot of times that problem doesn't have any impact. They've just solved a fantastic problem, and it gives them pleasure. The university needs that because these minds lead to other things. But the work that you people are doing, every single bit of it impacts human beings now. And you come into it, as the Chancellor said, not because you want to make money. In fact, you're saying implicitly, I'm not going to make a lot of money. and that, to me, is such a noble thought. I think it is such nobility, and that's why I say, I thank you. I know you're thanking me. Yes, being realistic is nice. But really, the pleasure that you're giving to Renee and myself and the knowledge of what you're going to do makes us say to you, I thank you and I thank you.
I don't normally dress this way. Well, I do, in point of fact. But Kitty and I have got a hit and run here because we're on our way to Denver to spend the weekend with one of our daughters and her husband and two fabulous grandkids. But we wanted very much to be here to say thank you and just be part of this. And there are a couple of facts that I think it's important for all of you to know, which I'm not sure you do. For one thing, Renee Luskin is a proud daughter of the Dorchester section of Boston, Massachusetts. And a graduate of the Woodrow Wilson Junior High School in the Dorchester section of Boston. And secondly, thanks to the dean, Kitty and I had a chance to have a wonderful dinner with him and his dear wife and the Luskins. And we discovered for the first time that there are lemons named for Meyer. We didn't know that. I mean, we don't have Meyer lemons back where we come from. Anyway, where's Kitty? Come on out here. I want my Jewish wife to come out. Meyer, I just want to amend one thing you said slightly. I don't want this place to be a place which changes the world a little bit. I want us to educate people who change the world a lot. And that's what your gift is going to make possible. Thank you very, very much.
Well, that was our program. We can get back to the eating and drinking. I just want to thank all of you for coming. Thank the staff of the school. Thank all of the faculty who are here. Good to see some of you. And want to encourage all of you over time to get to know the Luskins. They probably already now have a reading list. I mean, everybody's been coming to me and saying, you know, they're interested in it, maybe send them a book or some papers. But this is just a great day for the school family, and now we're part of your family and you're part of ours, and that's a great thing. So thank all of you, and let's eat, drink, and be merry.